Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to the Greatest Attorney 2 Resolve. Last time, we talked to Gina, we talked to Grayson, we caused Grayson to freak out because Ryo Nasuke wanted to look at the death laser. And now we are going to be moving out to go see Sherlock. We're going to see the new location. Let's go. "22nd of October. Madame Tusspells, Museum of Waxworks." What is this place? Judging by the knife-wielding lady as well as the Jack the Ripper guy, I would assume the murder museum. Look at these terrifying scenes, but why are the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers? I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked?
What wax models? Ah! I read about the dead bodies and wax ones in a magazine about strange phenomena. Were you reading Rand's magazine, Ryo Nasuke? Depending on how corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. It's called the adipocry.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruno. You're scaring me. And that's saying a lot, considering how I am. Anyways, adipocry.
Ah!
Anyways, adipocry doesn't form readily, you know. It's only in very specific. What now?
I've just remembered something else I read. In another magazine about strange phenomena, there was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. Okay, Ryo Nasuke, don't be judging Old Bag for what she does.
None of the exhibits here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
They can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them. Look at that bathtub.
Oh!
There's no way anyone could make models of people that are this realistic. Yeah, Sherlock posing next to Jack the Ripper. Yeah, basically, in my headcanon, Mycroft, basically Sherlock's brother, is basically Jack the Ripper, and basically during Sherlock's early days as a detective, just Mycroft was busted as being just Jack the Ripper. He had a similar sort of mental breakdown to Kristoff and just proceeded to go on a murder spree. He felt rejected, he felt spurned by some local woman, and then basically proceeded to get the bloodlust. And they're all such gruesome scenes. Wait.
What is it?
Oh no, I must be seeing things. Examine everything. Bathtub. Is this some infamous murder?
Yes, caught Jane the Ripper. All her victims were young women.
I knew it. You could tell by the way she's holding the knife. Sure sign of murder.
Well, yes. What's the matter, Bruno?
I worked it out. I know what she's doing. She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so she have a soak in her victim's gore.
Not going to the information about the exhibit on the little board here. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub.
Really?
Sorry, I don't think that's significant.
I still think it has to be there for a reason. Okay. Is this an arm?
It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the Waxworks models has fallen over.
You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murders in here, do you? Yeah, you know, I'm starting to think that basically just just Phoenix goes to a wax museum, and Phoenix also has a fear of wax sculptures as well. I mean, we haven't seen Phoenix go to a wax museum, so we don't know if Phoenix has the same sort of fears as Ria Nasuke in that regard.
Runo, stop scaring me!
Is it a wax arm or a real one?
Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Poke that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection! You know, they should have just played the objection sound effect. They should have just done that. That would have been perfect. That big heavy curtain is in a very prominent position, isn't it? I have a nasty feeling that's going to be something truly terrifying behind it.
Oh yes, that's the infamous Tusspells special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look?
Pay more money to be even more terrified? Oh, let me think about that for a moment.
It was only a suggestion.
These models are so well made, I can't tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human.
Or maybe all the exhibits are real people.
Like Night at the Museum.
And then when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about.
Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. Okay, let's look at the Jack the Ripper scene here. Is this an example of Western Tsurugi? Wait, what's Tsurugi? I need to look this up. We will learn about it together. I'm not having a repeat of Confettio. Okay, it's Sujiri. Okay, let's see what it is. Okay, it's a Japanese term for a practice when a samurai, after receiving a new katana or developing a new fighting style or weapon, tests its effectiveness by attacking a human opponent, usually a random defenseless passerby, or in many cases during the nighttime. Okay, well, I learned something. Okay, I know something new. The more you know.
I don't know what that is.
You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword? I just looked up.
I still don't know. No. But actually, a waxwork samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could it be you modeled it? Do you think Runo? Doing that Tsurugi thing you just mentioned?
Well, I do have a sword, but I have no intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least. Yes, Sherlock. Let's check him out. It's the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really?
Well, he is world famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it.
I know. But look, Runo, you can kick this hurdy, and he doesn't even move a muscle.
Iris kicked Sherlock in the crotch. At that point, Sherlock could have children no longer. Just now I'm at you Back to the Future moment. Kristoff is in court, he's prosecuting, or Kristoff's in court defending someone, and then meanwhile Clavier's prosecuting someone. Clavier, he's basically prosecuting, he's going up against Apollo, and then basically just Clavier, what is this pain through my body? Why am I glowing? Why am I disappearing? We can't go around kicking the exhibits, Iris. Wait. It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either.
Really? Did it?
And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Can't speak, apparently. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look, there's a great murder scene to enjoy, much more appealing.
Hold it!
My dear fellow, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner, as if you've seen something truly abhorrent. Mr. Sholmes? I knew it. Iris, what possessed you? I may want children one day. I may want to create it where I have descendants one day who then proceed to become a rock star prosecutor and an obsessive defense attorney who kill the magician with a bottle. I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruto, and more importantly, kicking me in my gonads. Iris, I need to create Crazy Kristoff. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? Why do I keep saying Waxworks? Ugh. And that kick! Could you have not exercised a little more restraint? You winded me! And more importantly, aim for the knee and not my private area that should be treated gently!
But Ryu has something he needs to ask you.
Question. You want to hear a question, Mr. Naruto? Why can't I feel below the belt? Oh, I know why. Because Iris kicked me there with full force.
And I thought you'd probably getting bored too, and CzarThwomp still is dying. So here we are.
Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that, and my great brain, upon which all my successes have been built, would have turned to wax. As if it already wasn't. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss.
Oh, Hurley, you do talk nonsense, don't you?
He could know something, it's true, about Lord Van Zeeks and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For your luck, I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. If my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it is related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow, but for now, I must return to my work. What, back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? Mr. Sholmes, about this. As you will see, I'm rather busy at the moment. If it's advice you seek, come to my office tomorrow and I shall be happy to help you. Shall we say threepence per item as a consultation fee? That's 2 hours of gas, that is. Well, you get 2 hours of hot gas straight from Sherlock's head. Converse. What is this place? Madame Tusspells came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tusspells family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. Ugh, that sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expressions of the face of the condemned.
Apparently, the sculptors would make the models directly from the corpses right there at the site of the executions.
That really turns my stomach. That's just one of several legends about the Tusspells family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyways, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Look at this exhibit behind us of my brother Mycroft when he was taking down one of the trumpets who rejected him so thoroughly. The Wicked Bee, as he called them. And nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is the House of Horrors. A House of Horrors? Of course, visitors' members are dwindling now as a result of the great exhibition. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals and their gruesome work. Luckily for me, Mycroft is on top. No one can top Mycroft in his craziness. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here was sent to the gallows. So they're even stiffer now than the models of them. But in all seriously, Mycroft scared me when he went to the gallows. Have you heard of poor taste? My dear fellow, the public live for more taste. They yearn to be shocked. So, the hideous exhibits in here are...
There are betrayals of these events that actually took place.
Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyways, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here. Oh, he's back to being a waxwork, is he? Temporary waxwork. What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes? Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour, I hone in on a different killer in one of the displays, and I adopt a new pose to ensnare them. When the numbers of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I'll happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, isn't it obvious? For the money! He really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent, and I have the ravenous Iris to consider. I owe her protection money, otherwise she will break my kneecaps.
Oh, Hurley, I'm so hungry.
Yes, Iris and Sherlock then proceed to crash at Gregson's house. Take all his food, take all his fish and chips. If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruto. What's he threatening to rope me into now? You're going to need to kill a man, Mr. Naruto. I'll give you Mycroft's old knife. So with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murders and the scoundrels in here. The choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Remember, Mr. Naruto, ignore me at your own peril. I swear, Sherlock and Iris just come off as more of a crime family with each passing case. Back to being a waxwork again. Is it just me, or did his father remark this sound a lot like a curse? Yes, this is why Phoenix lost his badge when basically dealing with Kristoff. It was the curse of Sherlock Holmes, basically. Kristoff got the insane plot of basically framing Phoenix with the diary page from Sherlock. Sherlock was whispering insanities into Kristoff's ear. Something to ask you. Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then? Actually, it's about Lord Van Zeeks. Ah, our friend Mr. Reaper. How'd you find him? Well, I trust. CzarThwomp is getting gassy, and so I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I'd learned. About Lord Van Zeeks, about Professor Hairbrain, and about the strange coincidence that they had been at university together. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zeeks such a different person, and why CzarThwomp can't speak.
I was sure that you know, Hurley.
You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before. That something was afoot, and that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. And what is wrong with me tonight? I swear. Mr. Sholmes? He suddenly clammed up. Well, it seems we've reached the unavoidable. Greetings. Oh, hello. Where'd she appear from? And what's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? I hope you are not appreciating my museum. Sorry, have we? Yeah, hopefully my Himiko voice can handle a French accent. Mr. Sholmes, you know this? Not again! My apologies. I am Esmeralda Tusspells. This is my museum of Waxworks. What? You're the Madame Tusspells? Madame Tusspells? Yes, sir. Though only 26 years young, I might add. Is that significant somehow? I am Madame in name only. It has a certain je ne sais quoi. Right.
Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks, or rather, one waxwork in particular.
That'll be Mr. Sholmes then.
I was led to believe he was a good detective, but he seems unable to settle. Next time you move from your designated detective out, there will be toil and trouble. She sounds deadly serious.
That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zeeks now?
Let's not forget what Hurdy said before about something being afoot right here in the museum. I mean,
Yes, I know, but
I'm so curious. I want to know what's happening here.
haven't we got enough on our plate already? Present the badge. Madame, there's something I have to show you.
Yes, what is that? I remarked only to myself immediately, and I've been very curious since.
Ah, well, it's actually the mark of a defense lawyer in the Empire of Japan.
Oh, quite dommage. Not quite as interesting as I hoped.
What exactly were you expecting from an armband?
And it could fire lasers.
Okay, no new dialogue. The Waxworks. Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tusspells?
I did. I am the third generation of waxwork artisans, you know. Gosh! It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were cherished, leaving to the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. Although that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that led to the astounding likeness. Ah, these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more like Hurley. What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks here were created in the bosoms of real people on which they were modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions, that is the secret of the extraordinary likeness.
That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Ugh, why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying?
Do not fear.
Sorry?
This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are mottos of famous singers, actors, politicians, something for every taste. I hope.
Yeah, then Rinosuke, he goes into the next room. Basically, he goes into the philanthropist's room, and the first thing he sees is McGilded. It was Iris who dragged me straight in here. Come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I could have eased you into things.
Great Detective Waxwork. What's the situation with that?
My temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal.
Oh? What's our proposal? CzarThwomp can't speak. My dear madam, with these warehouse exhibits, need is the addition of a world-famous great detective.
Oh, words to that effect. Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective.
It's great detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme, so I was keen to come up with some arrangements with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
Let me guess. Someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services. You had better give me a good deal. You better pay me handsomely, or I will send Iris here to burn down this museum. For a mere 500 pounds, I shall dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment. Only Sherlock, I swear.
Oh, words to that effect.
Mr. Sholmes might have overdone it slightly with the sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the counter-arrangement instead.
Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing, though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent.
Like I said, don't pay me, Iris burns down this place, and you will have no money. I have a 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by the morning.
Oh, well, to that effect. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have had something to redeem.
Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Something aloof. I wonder. Could I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious. Is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Oh, well, it was your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little. Oh, he's disappeared. A wax moth is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. There you are.
Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working? Do you wish to be melted down?
Give me my 500 pounds! My dear Madam Tusspells, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem that must be thrown into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to invoke the police.
Why ever not?
Because Iris controls them, and if she sees you bringing the police here, she will burn this place down. She turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. Though please be aware that I prefer no. I insist upon payment in advance. And then she pays Sherlock, and then Sherlock just bolts for the exit.
Very well. Let us see if the good detective is able to live up to his name, shall we?
Well, we'll do that next time, because I have the feeling that basically something's going to come up, and we won't be able to end the episode off immediately. So I think that now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you took right to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you next time. Bye.